You send the text, you check for the read receipt, you see it, and then nothing. 1 hour passes, then 3, then 12. You spend the entire evening in a state of hypervigilance. Your phone sitting on the coffee table like a live grenade. You walk into the kitchen to get a glass of water, but your mind is miles away, rereading that last message you sent, looking for the glitch, the typo, the tone shift, the hidden error that caused the sudden silence. By midnight, you're in what researchers call a rumination loop. You tell yourself you're being dramatic. You tell yourself that normal people don't feel this way. You look at your friends who seem to breeze through dating and social interactions like dandelions, resilient, able to grow in the cracks of a sidewalk, unbothered by the harsh winds of social rejection. But you feel a hollow, visceral ache in your chest. Your stomach is turning, and you feel a sudden drop of exhaustion as if you've just run a marathon, even though you've spent the last 4 hours sitting on the couch. If you've ever been told you're too sensitive or that you need to toughen up after being ghosted, this video is for you, because the science suggests you aren't making a mistake. You aren't weak. You are experiencing something much more profound than a social slight. You are experiencing relational shock. Today, we're going to dismantle the shame of the ghosted. We'll look at the neuroscience of why silence feels like physical pain, and I'll give you a new operating system, the Digital Firewall, to help you protect your high-resolution brain from the information storm of modern rejection. The reframe biological validation. To understand why ghosting hurts so much, we have to look at your hardware. This isn't a character flaw, it's biology. For about 20% of you watching this, you possess a trait called sensory processing sensitivity. You are what I call a supersensor. While most people record the world in standard definition, maybe 720p, your brain is recording in 8K resolution. You don't just notice a text message, you process the timing, the punctuation, and the lack of a reply with a depth of processing that dandelions simply don't have. When someone ghosts you, your brain's prediction machine is thrown into a catastrophic error. From an evolutionary perspective, your brain's primary job is not to make you happy, it's to keep you alive by predicting what comes next. You sent a signal, the text, and your brain predicted a return signal, the reply. When that reply doesn't come, it creates a prediction error. To a supersensor, this gap feels like a 5-alarm fire. Your brain lacks the gating mechanism to filter out the noise of that silence. Instead, you engage in deep semantic encoding. Your brain runs a complex simulation connecting this current silence to every past rejection you've ever felt, predicting a future where you are permanently alone. And here's the most important part. Silence triggers your physical pain centers. Neuroscience shows that social rejection activates the same neural pathways as a physical burn or a broken bone. Your amygdala, your brain's ancient overprotective bodyguard, doesn't see a missed text. It sees a predator in the bushes. It thinks you've been cast out of the tribe, which, in ancient times, meant certain death. You aren't crying because you lack capacity. You are emotionally sweating. Your nervous system is sprinting at 150% capacity, trying to solve the puzzle of why they stopped replying. The engine is redlining, and the tears, or the physical ache, are just the cooling mechanism for a high-performance engine that's running too hot. The asymmetrical trap, why they do it. Now that we understand your side, let's examine theirs. When you're ghosted, your instinct is to solve the problem with more logic, more explanation, or more love. You think if you just send one more text to clarify, the silence will end, but researchers suggest you're making a fundamental error. You're assuming this is a conflict between two partners seeking connection. But often, ghosting is part of an asymmetrical conflict. While you're playing a game of connection, the other person might be playing a game of control. Many individuals who ghost possess traits of the dark tetrad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, or everyday sadism. For a person with high psychopathic traits, their amygdala doesn't light up with fear or remorse like yours does. They have empathy dissociation. They might intellectually know you're waiting for a reply. Cognitive empathy, but they physically cannot feel your pain. Affective empathy. To them, your silence is not a loss. It's supply. Or, even worse, the ghosting is a form of intermittent reinforcement. By being cruel one minute and charming the next, or by being present one day and a ghost the next, they create a traumatic bond. Your brain becomes addicted to the unpredictability. You stay in a state of hypervigilance, constantly pressing the lever of your phone, trying to win back the nice version of them. You were targeted not because you're weak, but because you're high-yield supply. You have the light, the empathy, and the 8K resolution heart that they lack, but that light belongs to you. The branded framework, the Digital Firewall, We can't use software to fix a hardware problem. You can't love a person into having effective empathy, and you can't willpower your way out of the physical pain of ghosting using outdated strategies. To survive this, you need to build a greenhouse, a supportive environment for your sensitive nervous system, and install the Digital Firewall. This is a 3-step protocol designed to move you from the default mode network, taking it personally, to the task-positive network, analytical detachment. Step 1, the lookup hack. The moment you feel that prickle in your eyes, or that sinking feeling in your gut as you look at your phone, physically look up. Tilt your chin slightly and look at the ceiling or the sky. Looking down signals introspection and feeling to your brain. Looking up signals visual processing and alertness. It tells your bodyguard that you're still watching the world and aren't shutting down. Step 2, the gray protocol. Your phone is currently a digital assault vehicle. Those bright red notification badges and the blue light are triggering dopamine loops that keep you addicted to the ghost. Go into your settings and turn your screen to grayscale. It removes the dopamine reward of the check and turns your phone back into a simple, boring tool. You're cutting off the supply loop for your own brain. Step 3, no JAE, the firewall. When you're ghosted, you'll feel a desperate urge to justify, argue, defend, or explain. You want to send a long text message explaining how much they hurt you. Do not do it. In the social hierarchy of a high-conflict person, the person who explains less has the higher status. When you offer unasked-for explanations, you're signaling submission. You're begging for permission to have boundaries. From today on, you use the power of the period. If they eventually reply with a lame excuse, you don't JAD, you respond with a BIFF message. Brief, informative, friendly, and firm. Hi, thanks for reaching out. I've moved on from this connection. Best regards. It leaves no hooks for them to grab onto. Practical protocols. Training the tenacity muscle. Building this firewall takes time because your willpower muscle, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, AMCC, might be currently atrophied. Every time you checked your phone in the past when you felt bored or anxious, you put the weight down. To heal, we need to send your AMCC to the gym using the 15% push. When the urge to check their social media or send that clarification text hits you, don't try to stop for the whole day. That's too heavy. Just push for 15% more time. If you feel you must check your phone now, wait exactly 5 minutes. This is urge surfing. You're doing a rep in the brain's gym, training your internal brake pedal to handle the physical heat of the urge. While you wait, use the math hack. Do a complex math problem in your head, like 100 minus 7. It's neurologically impossible to maintain intense emotional rumination while your prefrontal cortex is busy with subtraction. You're forcing the blood flow away from the tears of the amygdala and back to the logic of the driver's seat. Finally, use somatic validation. If your brain is telling you maybe they just lost their phone, but your stomach is turning and your chest is tight, trust the body. Your nervous system is a high-performance radar that has detected predatory intent or a lack of care hidden under the polite silence. Your body knows the truth before your logical brain is willing to accept it. Reassurance and call to action. I know that understanding this intellectually is easy, but doing it under pressure is hard. You've been told your whole life that you're too much, but the truth is, the world has enough numbness. We don't need you to be thicker-skinned. We need you to be exactly who you are, a person who sees the world in 8K resolution. But you must protect your gift. You're not a dandelion who can grow in the toxic soil of a ghoster's silence. You're an orchid, and you require a greenhouse of consistent, high-trust connections to bloom. Ghosting isn't a reflection of your worth. It's a hardware problem in the other person or a mismatch in your sensory diet. When you use the digital firewall, you're not hiding from the world. You're resourcing yourself so you can actually be in it. You're reclaiming the space in your head that they have occupied for too long. To help you implement these protocols, I've created a new free PDF guide for you called The Defense Protocol. It includes a scripting template based on the science of implementation intentions. It's a simple if-then exercise. If I feel the urge to check their profile, then I will perform the math hack for 60 seconds. Science shows that mental rehearsal reduces the stress response. By writing it down, you're programming your brain to handle the silence before the information storm even starts. You can download it for free using the link in the description. You were targeted because you have a high-yield heart. Don't let the silence of a machine make you doubt your humanity. Just breathe. You know the truth now, and the truth is the beginning of freedom. If you have a story about surviving a ghost or a technique that helped you stay out of the rumination loop, please share it in the comments. Just being able to articulate your experience is a massive step forward. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.